Democrats' big, beautiful blue wall might be crumbling. Axios out with a new piece on how Kamala's electoral college firewall is slipping away. It says, quote, top Democratic politicians and operatives tell us the vital states of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania are getting tougher for Vice President Harris and the party's Senate candidates. Democrats also say that Kamala's media blitz was a dud. Turns out chugging brews with Colbert and helping Howard Stern cope with his Trump derangement syndrome didn't help move the needle. And even the Democrats' hype man, James Carville, is sounding worried. Listen.
Only thing I feel is the election's coming November 5th. And I'm scared to death, and I'll get a time to, obviously.
You're not in a reflective mood.
Not in a particular reflective mood right now. I'm very, very concerned and very
What does
scared.
Harris need to do with the month left?
They need to be sharp. They need to be aggressive. They need to stop answering questions and start asking questions.
Would you like to see her do more press conferences?
I'd like her to put more things in play.
All right. I want to go to Jessica first because it seems like this is an emotional issue for you. But I'm going to go to Greg instead. Greg, I want you to just ponder everything you just heard, Jessica. How concerned are the Democrats really, or is this just typical Democrats freaking out?
I do think that you're seeing evidence of the media slowly turning on Harris because not of her politics or her lack of policies. It's that she appears to be losing. So it's like, that's a different kind of political analysis. It's not like they're equally critical of Trump and Harris. When they criticize Trump, it's because they want him to lose. When they criticize Harris, it's because she's losing. They don't want it. It's weird, though. You aren't seeing Republicans becoming Democrats, but you're seeing a lot of the reverse, Hispanics, blacks, young people, and it's because they realize they've been lied to so much about bigger issues. They've been manipulated, whether it was Russian collusion, fine people hoax, drinking bleach, Hunter's laptop. I think they realized that their side, and they're going to find out everybody lies, but right now they are finding out that their side lies. Pretty soon, that's the first level of awareness. And then when you get out of there, you're going to see, wow, everybody lies about everything, and then you're going to be free. That's a true based red pill. But if you look at what the Democrats focus on, it's removed from real life. Parents concerned about trans activism, they always side with the activists. They're concerned about men identifying as women in women's sports. They side with the perverted grifters. When citizens are concerned about gas and food prices, they say it doesn't exist. Remember that? They said there's no inflation. And when they're concerned about crime, they say it's going down. So if you look at the two parties, you have one that is living in some fantasy land and another one that is almost obsessed with reality to a fault. Republicans are obsessed with reality, crime, immigration, inflation. That's as real as life gets.
Dana, the polling numbers are still tight. They've been tight. I've still been confident for quite some time. All of a sudden, the Democrats don't seem confident. What has changed?
I think they're all seeing the same things that we're seeing, which is that the momentum is going in Trump's favor. And part of the reason is because Kamala Harris's media tour is having the inverse effect of what they wanted. The more people see her, the more they're thinking, wait, I don't think I can do this. The numbers are what they are. And for a long time, I've believed that whoever this race ends up being about is the one that's going to lose. Because people know who Trump is. They might not like him, but they know his record, and they might think that, well, at least things were better back then. And if this is my choice, and I don't know her, but what I see of her, I'm not confident in, they won't have it. But it's not just the poll numbers. This was an astounding thing I noticed today in all of my reading that I did today. Do you know how many Democrats are out there saying all these things she needs to do? Here's a small list. I just did this off the top of my head. They say she needs to have another debate. That's not happening. She needs to do more interviews. That's not happening. One said she needs an energy plan. One said she should do more town halls. I know she's got one or two, whatever. They said she needs to have an event specifically for black men. Then she needs to have an event specifically for Latino men. And then she needs to be more interactive on the ground with the voters. And she needs to do more fundraising and on and on. And every article I'm reading, it's all the things that she should do that she can't do. It's like when Harold would sit here and say, Joe Biden should come out and say this, or he should do this. And I'm like, Harold, that's not happening.
Yeah, screw Harold.
This is like three.
In your face.
It's three. Yeah, in your face, Harold. You're not even here. There's 3 weeks left of the campaign. Yeah. When do they think she's going to do this? And I think all of them are doing this right now to be on record as saying, I told you.
Yes.
Yep. Right? Charles Blow, for example, in the New York Times today saying these are all the things she needs to do. She's not going to do those.
Right. Jay Mart also in the New York Times day and night.
Oh my gosh, there was a whole, no, it's Politico magazine.
Same thing.
No, well,
no, it's not.
It's so close.
But I read the whole thing of all the things that she should do, and that's to get on record because they think she's going to lose right now.
So, Judge, when the Democrats are giving advice to the top Democrat, that's when you know they're losing.
Well, think about it. She made history by raising $1 billion in 80 days for a presidential candidate. That's unbelievable. And that's going to dampen the fundraising, okay? And I understand that it's so close in Pennsylvania that she's going to spend $350 million on ads in Pennsylvania. But here's the thing. We talk about there's supposed to be that beautiful blue wall. Kamala was supposed to be the surefire winner. But we weren't supposed to know that she couldn't speak or she couldn't respond or she couldn't do an interview. We weren't supposed to know that because Donald Trump was supposed to be in jail or worse. And that was the thinking. We were never supposed to know how inept she is at all of this, whether it's signifying or conveying a sense of empathy. Now, also, this whole idea she takes for granted the blacks and the minorities as well as the blue-collar worker. And with the realignment of this group with Republicans, because the Republicans are now the party of the working class, you know, they're not trusting her. She's the one who said the border was secure. You know, she's the one who told them that there's really no inflation. And finally, this whole idea, she's trying to get men back by saying that Emhoff and Waltz, that's true masculinity. I dare you to take a poll and put together Donald Trump and J.D. Vance against Emhoff and Waltz and ask who's going to win in terms of masculinity. They even have to redefine it. Americans aren't feeling it.
I don't think you want that competition. I mean, he has beautiful eyelashes, but J.D. Vance looks like he's wearing eyeliner most of the time.
But he's not.
How
dare you?
How dare you? I know, and maybe the couch story was real.
And you know what? Waltz said he was carried weapons of war. He was in Bagram. You want to talk about it?
Donald Trump of working class fame on his golden toilet. Let's not do this again. So you are correct. The premise of your question, Jesse, we like being scared. We run better when we're scared. This is our comfort state. And I'm thankful to be in this position versus your red wave vibe that you had before it all came crashing down.
Would you rather be Donald Trump right now, or would you rather be Kamala Harris?
I would never rather be
You know
Donald
what I'm
Trump.
talking about. In this position, would you rather be Trump or her?
The reason that I would rather be Kamala Harris is that he has to depend on low propensity voters to show up, and she has to depend on high propensity voters to show up. She has to convert people to voting for her. She has to get those moderate Republicans. But Donald Trump needs to be on the Joe Rogan circuit or the Andrew Schultz circuit to get people who don't typically show. And that's a steeper challenge. That's my honest answer. I think you like it. You're making the good face.
I just can't argue with it because I don't want to.
Okay, great. So
I'll handle it.
Okay, so for all
Greg,
of
will you
the,
take this one for me? She's wearing me down.
For all of the good news that there has been for Trump, and it definitely has felt like a vibe shift this week, he still only gained 0.3 points in the polls, and Nate Silver was tweeting about that today. And there were some really interesting things in the New York Times Siena poll. So not only was she up 4 points, and that had been one of her worst polls, but now abortion is in the top 3 issues. And we know if abortion is in the top 3 issues, that favors Democrats. They also found that Kamala has support from 93% of Democrats, but Donald Trump only has support from 80% of Republicans. And
But there's more Republicans than Democrats.
Oh, okay, but actually,
I didn't hear what you said, Dana.
She said there are more Republicans than Democrats, and we can talk about that, but it doesn't mean they're necessarily being affiliated, doesn't mean that you're going to vote that way. And Blueprint had a new survey out where they found that 36% of Nikki Haley's voters are going to back Harris. Only 49% of the Republican Haley voters are going to back Trump, down from 64% in 2020.
A lot of numbers, Jessica. A lot of numbers.
Yeah, that's how elections
There might
work.
be a shy Kamala vote.
There might be, or a loud one. And like in Wisconsin, where she appeared with Liz Cheney, the biggest group of undecided voters are moderate and Republican-leaning undecided. And so you bring Liz Cheney out there, the Adam Kinzingers of the world.
Oh, God.
Is he going to
You guys-
cry? Is he going to cry if she doesn't win?
If she's
Is this-
depending on Cheney and Kinzinger, I
Kinzinger.
think this thing's, what's his name? I'm sorry.
Kunzinger.
You're not sorry.
Kinzinger.
No, both of you are
It's
wrong.
a hard name to pronounce.
It is not.
Kinzinger.
And
Is
it's
it-
Jonathan Martin, not Jay
Gur.
Hart.
Not Gur.
Who
Kinzinger.
cares?
Yeah,
no
I'm
one
sorry.
cares
Doesn't matter.
about him.
I'm sorry.
That's your favorite thing to say.
I'm not sorry.
It's true, though.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's
All right,
that?
Jessica, okay, we gave you your time. Please, let's sell some ads.
I,
Ahead, Dougie Dine and Dash. Tim Walz and Doug Emhoff grab coffee and walk away without paying. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.